Hello everyone. So today we are on what's going to be the new deck garden next year. I'm not planting anything till next year. I'm saying that as much to you as I am to myself because there's really not enough of the season left for it to make sense, and I want to make sure I'm actually planning before I start to plant. But what I want to do today is go through all of the containers that I have so far, where they're placed, what I think I'm going to do, and then also I need your opinion on some of the placement as well. Another reason I wanted to do this was because now is the best time, in my opinion, to find containers for your garden, especially larger ones. Now, if you just saw my tour with Duranus, which, by the way, you guys asked a bunch of questions, I do plan to go back there for his giveaway, and then you can see what the containers look like without plants, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. But he mentioned specifically Facebook Marketplace is where he gets all of his containers for cheap. I actually haven't gotten anything from Facebook Marketplace. I've done some of the no-buy groups, but I am going to be looking as much as I can for Facebook discounted containers because there are a lot more that I want to put out here. But also, this is when the garden centers are having a bunch of discounts. This is when the online shops have their discounts. So what I would say is, if you're near garden centers, go now because they've probably already marked off a lot of their containers. If you're shopping online, look now, but maybe save things to your cart or make a list somewhere of what you want. And then when the holiday sales come around, Black Friday probably is when you'll get the largest discount. That's when you go ahead and buy them. So most of the time when I'm getting my elevated beds, large pots, it usually is around fall or winter. Some of these things I'm going to show you today I've actually had for years, and we're just waiting for the right spot for them. So let me go. Oh, and I forgot. So when I did the tour up here, the very first one, in my head, the pergola existed, the stairs existed, and I was watching and I was like, we don't even have stairs yet. So I'm going to show you now the almost completed deck as well. So I am standing on the door that leads out from our kitchen. So there are a few stairs here that go up to, this is what I call the top of the breezeway. I'll probably call it the deck walkway. Let me know if you think there's a better name for it. But I knew that on this section I want to have my herb garden, which is going to be on that side, because the sun is coming from over here, so it's going to shine on these plants. We should get full sun. I'm not 100% sure with the hornbeams, but it should be enough that the herbs will be happy. So I know that I want to have containers along here. I have some already. What I want to look for specifically on Facebook Marketplace, though, is stone or cement containers. I really want containers that are made of a similar stone color to the cement just sitting on top of the ledge. If not, I'll go with something that is black, either steel or plastic. But that's going to be my plan for all along up there. Obviously, that's not going to be in the way of the walkway. Now, something to know about me. I am very bad at estimating sizes. Like, if you tell me something is 3 feet wide in my head, I will imagine a size that is definitely not 3 feet wide. So when I went to Gethsemane Garden Center here in Chicago, I saw these 2 planter boxes. And in my head, I was thinking, oh, you know what? I hope when I get these home, they aren't too big and take up space in the walkway. I think you can see there's no problem with that. I actually probably could have gone even a little bit wider with some of these, but I really love these. And the best part is that they were on sale. So I did buy these myself at the garden center. They were already marked 50% off. This was in September. Now they actually did say final sale with the 50% off price, and I was going to get them anyway. However, because I guess I stood around them long enough, I heard the voice of one of the employees in that section say, "We can go lower." And I was like, oh, okay. So I think at the end I got them for 75% off. So again, this is the time when garden centers are looking to get rid of a lot of the containers that haven't sold during the season. So go check out your local garden centers. Since they are so small, I'm actually get a third one at some point. They only had 2 there when I went. And then I want to do pots or stands in between. Like, I don't just want a whole row of the exact same planter, but I can definitely fit at least one more in here. There were a few different designs. I went with the sunflower one, and it's kind of, I mean, it's black, but also a little bit of copper color, and I just think that fits in really well with the color scheme back here. The flower boxes did not come with it, but they were right next to it, which I always love when garden centers just put the things together that you would want to get. And they also came with, which they've blown over. They came with saucers, but these are outside, so I don't want the saucers underneath, so I do have to store these at some point. So I'm definitely going to grow herbs in here. Nothing like mint that's going to be aggressive and take over the whole planter, but I want to fit 2 to 3 herbs in each of these. I like this under here for storage of extra pots or potting soil. And since I got these from the garden center in person, I don't have a link for them. Well, actually, I didn't get them from the website. Maybe I can find the link, but I did save this in case I want to get another one. So the brand is Painted Sky. Different by design. I know they have some really beautiful benches, probably some outdoor furniture as well. So I will be on the hunt for maybe another one of these. But again, it did not come with this planter box in it, so you would want to get that separately. Or you could put just terracotta pots or 3 different types of pots in there. Now on the right-hand side of the walkway, I really want to keep this open. I don't want to have anything sitting on the ground. But this is the product I've had for either since 2020 or 2021. I got it without measuring, surprise, surprise, and it didn't fit in any space I had available until now. So there's a company called Plant Traps, and this was their first invention called the Plant Trap. Now, they also have a second product called Railscapes that I have 8 of. 4 are on my front gate, 4 are on the staircase inside that act as like floating plant holders. So that was their second invention. So the company is called Plant Traps. I feel like they might have changed the name of this product since they have 2 now. I'll link everything below, but like I said, I bought these years ago and I finally am going to use them, which is why you should never get rid of anything and hold on to it forever. So this is the product, and this one still has the label on it, which is probably different since this was from many years ago. But if you can see on that label, that's how it works. It's meant to have the plants outside of your railing so it doesn't take up the actual walking space on your deck or on your balcony. And the reason I didn't have a space for this was because I didn't have, like on a rooftop deck, so we don't have this type of railing, so there wasn't really anywhere for me to put it, but now I can. So you slide this under the railing and then put the pot on here, and then you put the stake. I know there's a few different options where to put it, and you stick the stake in the pot and that holds everything in place. So I'm going to have 2 of these, and they are going on this walkway railing. So I can put the pot there. It's not in the walking space. I'll water it with a hose because maybe I can get irrigation set up over here. But then I'm going to put in it, I think, the coconut appeal black-eyed Susan vine, have it climbing up the railing. So I'm going to put 1 here, the other one there, have them planted in the center, but then 1 growing that way, 1 vining up this way. Continuing up the walkway now, we are going to have railings here and here, so maybe I'll put some plants underneath it. I'm not sure yet. But then these are also containers that I got last winter on sale and have just been sitting in the house. So these are actually 1 container. So these 2 pieces come together. These 2 pieces come together. They're both from Verdeck. And like I said, I got these on sale from their website last November or December. Now, here is my plan, which I think goes against what they would tell you to do, but this is technically 1 planter. So this insert goes into the larger one so that it's more lightweight. You don't have to use as much soil, but I want to make them 2 separate planters. So I'll have smaller planters here, taller planters here, and it's 4 for the price of 2. After I got these and had that idea, I did contact their customer service and was like, should I do this? Is this a bad idea? And they said they wouldn't recommend it just because without the insert, this can warp. So this isn't, I guess, as strong a material as maybe the insert. So this can fold in a little bit, but I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine if this warps as long as it works as a planter. So it's one of those, like, I can't say that they recommend doing it, but that is what I'm going to do with it. There is a drainage hole in the large one. So down there are 2 drainage holes. And then with the insert here, there are also 2 drainage holes. And then how it's supposed to work is that slides in there. Then you have a lighter weight container. You're not using as much soil, but again, that's not what I want to do. So I'm going to take this back out. Now another thing I'm going to try to do is get things on wheels. So since right now this is just flat on the deck, I want to get at least lifts, if not wheels, but I'd prefer wheels to just raise it up. So it's easier to drain and there's actually less touch points with the tile on the deck, just to try to protect it a little bit. So this one I definitely want wheels. This one I might just do some lifts on. I'll link down the ones that I have so far, but I don't know if they're the ones I'm going to use for these. But again, just to kind of get it off the deck a little bit more. But these will be stationary, so I don't necessarily need wheels. And the reason they'll be stationary, and the main reason I'm not using the inserts inside of the pot, is because of this Titan arch. So this I got as a Christmas present last year, and had the intent of putting it on my rooftop deck. So I'm glad I didn't, because I think it would just be not stable enough up there. But now I have a perfect space for it here, and I kind of had an idea we were going to redo the deck, so I thought, you know what, this will actually work much better down here at this level. But the main reason I got the Verdeck planters over here was because the diameter was wide enough to fit the diameter of the arch. So again, this is the Titan arch, I think is what it's called, from Gardener Supply. So the diameter first is wide enough, but then also I want this to be buried as much as possible with the soil, again, just to keep it stable. And if I had the insert in here, maybe only about a foot, if not even a little bit less, of the arch would be buried. The arch would be taller, so it'd probably be even too tall for what I want over here. So that can now go all the way down into this planter. And in fact, let me go ahead and put it up right now. Let's see if doing this on my own is a bad idea or not. There we go. How good does this look? I am so excited. Now, when I had Eric and Christopher here, I was asking them about their ideas. I have a whole list from that video of plants that they recommended, also from the comments as well, so thank you. Ideally, I would love to have a rose, a climbing rose. The only problem is, will it stay alive in a container over winter? Not just worrying about the cold, but worrying about the soil staying too moist and causing root rot. So next year, I might just do annuals and kind of get a feel for it, and then maybe try a perennial, but I am so excited about this. This is probably going to be my favorite part of the garden, but who really knows? But I'm just so excited to come out, again, from our house, walk down the walkway through my herb garden, and then underneath a flowering arch. And then, as I was saying before, so if I had the inserts in there, this arch wouldn't be going all the way to the ground. It would be like up here, so it'd be even taller, too tall for this space. So I think this just fits perfectly. If I warp the pots, I warp the pots. As long as the plant grows in them, I'm fine. Now, last up here so far, it won't be the last containers I have at all, but I'm trying to wait till I get furniture before I fill the space with containers, but we'll see. I do have the couch ordered, and my plan is to put it, it's an L-shaped couch along there. There's an outlet there, plug in a laptop, work from there. That is my plan. Now, these 4 containers, these are from Edite. These I did not pay for. They sent me these 4, and in return, I'm going to make some content for their channels. So getting free containers in return for making videos, planting them, yes please. So I do feel very grateful, because large containers are not cheap, again, unless you're on Facebook Marketplace. But this is where I kind of need help with the layout. So let me explain this back wall a little bit. First of all, I know for sure I want them along the back wall. Like that, I already know. Here is an outlet for, at some point, potentially a TV. I don't know if we'll do that or not. Oh, also, can you see behind? There's a squirrel on a telephone wire. I haven't dealt with squirrels on the rooftop deck. They don't get up there. I'm going to have to deal with squirrels on this deck. So that'll be a fun learning curve. But anyway, could potentially be a TV there. So I don't want a container right under it with plants that are going to grow up it. I could have something with trailing plants, but I feel like I'd want just shorter planters in that section. So then I'm trying to decide between either having them spaced out a little bit like this or having them closer together like this. And you know what, maybe even I put a separate container in the corner but then shift these two over next to each other. Or do I have them apart from each other and then put a different container in between? Another issue to deal with is that there is a light right there. So I don't want, for example, I know I want an evergreen up here, but I think it would make more sense in the corner than something that's going to grow and cover the light, because then there's no point to having the light if it's going to be covered by a plant. Looking at this, like aesthetically, I'm leaning towards this setup, but again, maybe that's because I don't have any other containers up here right now. But maybe I want them closer together and then different pots on the side. I'm not sure, but I do have an idea that maybe won't make it as big of an issue if I change my mind. So these containers from Edite, they are heavy. I can pick up the Verdeck on my own. I can pick up obviously the arch on my own. All the other containers, I'm trying to think of everything on my deck for the most part. The container itself I can carry on my own. They do get heavier once they have soil and plants, but I could not carry one of these on my own. So me and my husband had to carry all of these through the house and out here. Got a great workout that day. I was sore the next day and I was like, why am I sore? Oh, that's right, we carry these containers out here. So once they're filled with soil, and especially plants, I'm not going to be able to move these unless I have them on wheels. Now, there's a few different types of wheels that I've used in my garden. I have caddies that have wheels on them that are made from plastic. There are stick-on wheels, which I have some of, which I might use on the Verdeck insert, so the shorter part of the Verdeck, stick-on wheels. One of the things that you have to keep in mind with wheels, though, is the weight limit that they can carry, and a lot of the times, the stick-on wheels especially, or even when I was contemplating drilling wheels into the bottom of my elevated beds, the weight limit wasn't enough for the soil, and when the soil's wet, and again, all planted up. So I wasn't sure if I'd be able to put wheels under some of these heavier planters. But then I got these. These are dollies, wheel dollies for furniture. I think each of these, the weight was like 500 pounds. It was something that was definitely going to be enough. So basically I measured the bottom of the container, and I think it was like 14 by 32, 14 by 30. I'll have all the dimensions and links and everything listed down below, but 14 by 30. So then I was looking for wheeled caddies that were as close to that as possible. These I think are 11 by 16. So what I'm going to try to do right now, that I haven't tried yet, is to see if I can get two of these. They came in a pack of two, I think. Put two of these under one, and that way, if I plant things up, let's say, and I have them right next to each other, and I decide I want them somewhere else, I can just wheel them around the deck. So let's see if this works, fingers crossed. All right, let's see how this does. Now for these, there is one drainage hole on the side. It's not on the bottom, so I'm not really lifting it up to help drainage at all. Again, just to be able to move this around. So do a lift and a scooch. Should probably have my husband helping. And then scooch you under there. I think this is going to work. Yes. You guys, I think it works. Now, obviously, I need to get it in better positioning so that part of the caddy or the dolly isn't sticking out the side, but I think it works. I don't mind the look of the wheels. I feel like for the most part, they're pretty hidden. Again, the couch will be in front, and it lifts it up a little bit, but I kind of like it lifted up because now it's a little bit more in line with the top of the wall right there. I think I like this. So I need to get at least 3 more 2-packs for these. But like I said, if you're looking for something to put wheels under, I measured the bottom, tried to find something as similar as possible. You could probably build something on your own with wood and wheels, but I think this is going to work out really well. So now with the wheels, I can plant these and kind of push them around as I want. Maybe they might be too heavy where I'll need like my husband to help push, but I can move these. So that is everything that is up here right now. And you know what, since I didn't show the pergola because it wasn't here, so this is the pergola, and where you have those hooks is where you insert the pole and then twist to open or close. Now in the winter they have to stay open because they're not strong enough to bear the weight of the snow. My plan is to keep them open, so this side right now is open. This one is almost all the way closed. My plan is to have them open as much as possible, just to let in the sunlight, let in the rain when we're not out here. But then when we do come out here, because the main purpose of this is to have some sort of shaded area outside, these will be closed. So that is everything I have so far for the new deck garden. There is going to be more because I want to have as many plants as possible, especially if like the walkway is going to be covered in plants and I am so excited. But I want to get the furniture in here. I'll look online, Facebook Marketplace, I'll look online at kind of like my favorite stores over the winter for the sales, get things ordered, get things here, and then in spring, I'm ready to toss everything out here and be good to go. Now for the winter, I think I'm going to pick up everything and move it along the wall. So all of these containers, again, I just have them out right now to get an idea of spacing, but I'm going to put them all along the back wall, throw a tarp on them, and let them sit until spring. There really isn't any other place we have to store them. I mean, we have a garage, but it's filled with cars and plants. Well, will be filled with plants, currently filled with cars. So everything has to stay outside. And honestly, that's what I want with my containers anyway. I don't want to have to carry them up or down, which also comes into play with what plants I decide to plant in them. So let me know if you have any other ideas for things that I should add. Obviously, I will take you along with me if there's any. So Instagram is where I share more real-time stuff, so if I find any good sales, I'll post it there. So follow along there if you're not, but I'll also make sure to mention anything I get here on YouTube as well. But I'm so excited. I'm already ready for next year. I feel like this is going to be the longest winter, just waiting to plant this up. But it's just a space that I'm so excited to have. And I think it's just going to be, I mean, I love my rooftop decks, obviously, but I feel like because of the shade down here, it might be the garden I spend most of my time in. So we'll see. So I don't know if we'll be on the back deck at all this season. Maybe I'll show you how I winter things over. But other than that, no plants going out here. No plants, Bethany, going out on this deck until next year. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.